Solid.
Hello, we are coming back, Sovereign Life Team Call. Today we're going to be discussing our Spiritual CEO 6-week onboarding program. All right, back to you, Elena.
Yeah. So as I was essentially saying is we want to turn this more into kind of like a coaching program to get someone seamlessly through a transformative experience from the time that they actually sign up to moving through the steps of actually growing and developing their business from start to finish. And we want to do that building on the principles of the Spiritual CEO Masterclass that you were part of, Ashley, as well, and baking that into the entire program, like Sophia said, creating more of a holistic view of both like the internal shifts and the outer shifts that take place when you sign up as an econ distributor and you start your own business, even as an entrepreneur.
Yeah, I think what we realized from doing this now, me and Elena have been and had our Nikon businesses for over a year now. And you see in our group chat, there's like almost 40 people in there. And that's because we have sponsored a lot of people. But how many people are here on this call? There's 5 of us. And, you know, normally I have Savannah too, so 6. So we've brought in so many people, but not a lot of people who have actually stayed. And that's not what we want. That's not real community. And we found that it wasn't necessarily, it was never about Nikon. It was never a problem with the vehicle, never a problem with the products. It was always a problem with the you know, it's hard to be an entrepreneur. It's hard to actually get there mentally from being an employee mindset, or, you know, if were a student in university or anything like that, we have been trained to take direction from others, not to be self-directed. And there really is a mindset shift that has to happen when you're transitioning from being an employee to being an entrepreneur. And we want to see our ratios of who comes in and who actually stays and builds a successful business change. Because we really want people to be equipped with like not only a great vehicle and great products, but the mindset, the internal shifts that's going to be required to be an entrepreneur. And this is like in any business that you try and build. Like I'm even noticing as I'm building my coaching business, how the things that I've learned in my Nikon business over the last year are coming in so clutch, like learning how to handle rejection, learning how to stay committed even when things don't feel good. Like these are learning how to get outside of your comfort zone and challenge the things that you really are comfortable doing. Or uncomfortable doing. You know, these are all skills that I've developed through Nika, and that is like really coming in handy with my coaching business now. So we realize we need to support people in this kind of training as well. And we of course do so much personal development stuff, but I think to have it in like a clear step-by-step process that we're inviting someone into like this container for like a 6-week period as they start their business, I think it's just going to be so great. So yeah, that's kind of where we're at right now. We're kind of like, I don't want to say back to square one, but we are like refreshing everything in our business right now. And we're really excited about it because we know most businesses, like they don't blow up after a year. It takes years of hard work and dedication and like taking what we've learned and then reiterating, you know, and we're in that process right now. And it's beautiful to be devoted to this as we, you know, make those shifts and those changes, you know, so yeah.
And I can also say what's so amazing too is like every single one of us on this call right now, we've been here for almost a year now, right? Like we've all kind of had like our year-long kind of initiation into Nikon, but more so like entrepreneurship and like self-leadership and all of that. And I feel like I can confidently speak for all of us when I say like neither one of us is the same. A year later, we're just like, we've learned lessons and we're not the same people, and we're ready to kind of just like move forward with that energy, that refresh. So I'm excited about this, guys. I'm really excited about this coaching program. Moya, for context, I know you kind of missed the beginning of the conversation as well, but we were essentially saying we feel like our efforts are better focused right now on developing this like spiritual CEO program, like orientation program, onboarding program, rather than creating another event. Because for us, it's not so much about, we're not falling short on bringing new members in when it comes to the big event, coming together and sharing our message and our stories and all of that, because we know it's so valuable. I think we want to develop more confidence in actually taking somebody through a deeper transformation from the moment that they get started and walking themselves through the process and becoming more successful at developing leaders. Right? Like my uncle talks about all the time, duplication is what's so powerful in this business. That's what makes it such a viable business opportunity with respect to residual and passive income and getting your time back. It comes through in how well you can duplicate, you know, what you've developed for yourself, how well you can develop further leaders. And that I think is something to aspire towards, because that's really what we want to be doing. Yeah. So yeah, this program is it.
So I just want to kind of start by reviewing what we've done, because we haven't looked at this in about 2 weeks. So first of all, we have our welcome party. Who are you? Why are you here? Let's connect. Clear some space for this magical journey. Magical in capital letters. What's the vibes and rhythm? What you can expect. Information, implementation, integration. I love that. We have all 3 of those components here.
Yeah.
So weeks 1 to 3 is transformation, customer to sales ninja.
Oh yeah, transformation just means like what are we calling in essentially?
Yeah, what are we taking them through in those weeks? Yeah. Customer to sales ninja, employee to self-employed. So we based it off of like the cash flow quadrants, employee to self-employed and then self-employed to business owner.
Yeah.
Week 1, you're really learning about who is Niken, what is active wellness and the wellness technologies, the good, better, best, why making an investment is a huge part of the transformation. Homework is purchasing your product packs. So yeah, that's week 1. And then I think every week we outlined kind of like a lecturing kind of call.
Yeah.
And then a one-on-one call with the sponsor, and then a workshop. So that's kind of like the information, implementation, and integration.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So then the one-on-one with sponsor would be assessing the belief system. So the belief in the products, belief in the company, belief in network marketing, belief in mentoring community, and belief in self. Yeah. That's super important. And I think very individualized as well.
I would even like to add, I mean, we can finish going through it first before we start to add stuff to this, because I have an idea of like what we would want to be doing even right before then. So maybe keep going and then we'll come back to it.
Okay. Workshop is the group call. Talk about what's coming up and how to navigate, share in community, spiritual practices. So that's kind of like our weekly call.
I think both of them are like I think we said we wanted to do the modules, let's say on like Monday, or maybe it's pre-recorded. Maybe this is something that we actually have somebody watch.
Right.
And then the workshop would be like Thursday night's call. Yeah. So you have that time like in between to do your one-on-one with your sponsor. And again, remember, we would be taking on, so if we're treating it like a coaching business, we would technically be treating it like a launch and taking on 2 new team members. And then you would be responsible, let's say, for those 2 team members, 2 or 3 team members within that period of time, within that 6-week program.
Right. So it'd be very high touch. Yeah. Feels great. Okay, then week 2, the module or the information component, the business model, why network marketing, talking about the cash flow quadrants. Yeah. The compensation plan, going through the board. Okay, yeah, going through the board. That basically means like setting a goal that's beyond
where you want to land.
Where you want to land, yeah. Homework, set your goal with your mentor.
Yeah.
So then the one-on-one call for that would be set the goal for the end of the month, both in business and personal. I like that a lot.
Yeah, me too.
And then the workshop, we did not put a workshop for this one for week 2.
No, because I think what we were saying was like, I feel like yeah, maybe we can define it a little bit more. But I think what we wanted to do with the workshop was kind of just have it as an opportunity for us to come together and like one on, or not one-on-one, but like, okay, what's coming up for everybody? How can we walk ourselves through this? How can we learn from each other's like perspective and experience based on
Yeah.
what we've been going through in this week? So an
Right.
opportunity to come together in the group and like really workshop whatever comes up.
Yeah, I like that. So it's kind of just going to be based on whatever the homework for that
Exactly.
week was. Like maybe we have people come out and like share their goals and like something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or like the limitations around that, all of it. Yeah.
Right. Week 3 is making your first sale. That's exciting. So communication skills, making your first sale, speaking with friends and family, sharing it with those you care about. How do I speak to someone about the products? So yeah, hopefully by week 3, they will actually have their products, assuming they order in week 1, because that's, you know, kind of a prerequisite for this. I think the one-on-one would kind of be like practicing, like deciding who you're going to reach out to and then practicing. Like, I think something that me and Elena did really early on that helped us with sales. Like, I'm making sales every month, but not even really like having to try, honestly. I'm doing like 1,000 points volume, like with very minimal effort. And I think that the reason I'm able to do that is because I mastered the sphere of talking to someone like right out the gate. Like Elena has her success story of selling like 3 waterfalls and 2 air filters in 2 or 3 days. In 2 days. Why? Because she was willing to pick up the phone and call some people. That's literally all it was. And this is such an important part of the process that I think pretty much everyone who's on our chat right now, who isn't on this call, has missed. And so that's why like this week is huge. And there's most objections I find when it comes to this part, when it comes to actually talking to someone and making that first sale. Not that every single sale you're going to make is going to be because you pick up the phone and talk to someone about it, but it's like addressing the block from that first sale and that first call and that first like fear that you have to face. You know, it's such an important part of the process. So I don't know, what do you guys think? How can we support someone who's at this step, who's like facing a lot of resistance with it?
So they've just set their goals by this point, which is great, right? Because we've created the direction. I think this is where we need to be able to start to address.
What do you think, Sam?
Like, I don't know, because I think about like Maddie, for example, where when she was facing the resistance, I was like, you know, as opposed to thinking about it like you need to sell someone, especially like your friends and family, you can approach it more so like
service,
as a service, but just to be like, I want to tell you, I want to give you the information and just tell you about it. And then like even making a goal for yourself to be like, I talked to 3 people about the product, as opposed to being like, I make a sale, because then it like takes the pressure off of actually having to sell something. But like just actually talking to someone and actually picking up the phone is like the hardest part for people. And then once they do it, and even if they're like, the person on the other end of the phone says, oh, you know, I'm good right now, actually, whatever, at least they were like, okay, well, like that wasn't the worst thing in the world. And that wasn't like a terrible response. So it's like really just like getting over the fear of actually talking to someone about it. So approaching it in that way. I mean, she also like didn't respond well to that either, which is why I'm kind of hesitant, but
well, I think you're bringing up important points though, because what I'm thinking about is what are the inner blocks that take place at this moment.
Like and I think handling
rejection. I was going to say like dealing with rejection, I think is an important one. Dealing with rejection. Another one is perfectionism, this idea that you need to be perfect or know everything before you can actually speak. And you don't have to be perfect, you just have to be willing. That's really what got me picking up the phone and calling in the beginning, was knowing that like, well, it's not going to happen unless I do it.
Right. It's like practice.
And I'm not going to get good at it unless I do it, unless I practice. So that's one of it too, is working with perfectionism. And then there was one more. I'm afraid to call someone sales as service.
Yeah.
Sales as a service is really important. And I think because there's an actual energy behind that we would need to dive into.
Totally. Sales as a service. And also understanding like anyone who's in this program is in it because they want to be an entrepreneur.
Yeah.
Understanding that sales are the backbone of entrepreneurship.
Yeah.
Like if you're an entrepreneur, you're selling a product or a service, and you are the one responsible for making that sale happen. And it's not a bad thing, and it's not scamming someone. Because that's like I think we all have this like fear about selling someone something. Even something we know is very valuable.
Yeah, I was gonna say, so that just reminded me. I think for me, what really did an energy shift was when we did those, and I know we wrote it down on this document to say like our beliefs and like rating our beliefs, because really it's like when your mindset changes to being like, no, like I truly do know that these products work and like I really like them and I believe in them wholly, like that allows people to feel more comfortable with talking about it and sharing it.
Yeah, so that's one thing here that might be kind of an issue because we don't have the beliefs in the products yet because someone wouldn't have the products yet.
Yeah, we might need to come back to that. Maybe we can do it as like a starting point.
Yeah.
And almost like expect, because maybe they had, they could have been someone who had like a personal experience, like maybe somebody did a demo on them or whatever.
Right.
So you can do it as like a starting point. And I think it would be important to start off week 3 once they've gotten their products, coming back to the belief in products.
So like on the one-on-one call.
Yeah.
Yeah, because we haven't outlined that yet. One-on-one call with sponsor. Yeah, that's a really good point, Sam.
Love it. Sorry guys, I'm just gonna turn my camera off. I'm just like organizing
my circle back to
no problem.
Evaluation of beliefs. Sales as a service. And then we talked about like sales as the backbone
of entrepreneurship.
Ownership. And as a valuable skill to cultivate. Like this isn't your job forever. That's the whole point, is we don't want people's jobs forever to be, I have to make these sales to make money. We want people to build leaders.
Yeah.
Right. And to build a network so that the income is passive. That's really the goal here. That's what I want. That's what everyone on this call wants. So, but this it's a milestone that has to be passed. And I think maybe outlining that too, understanding like, this is not going to be your job forever, but right now this is a milestone you need to go through in order to get that. So bringing it like back to the belief system.
Yeah, I think that's important. Or you mean like the goals that they've even set for themselves, like personally? Yeah, I agree.
Like I want to say like showing the big picture.
Yeah. I almost wanted to, there was something that came up too. This would fall into like sales as a service, is like shifting the perspective from like, I need you to help me, or like, I'm selling you this so that you can give something to me, to I have a solution like for a need, like the idea that like you are here to serve, like when you believe that what you have to offer is valuable, you are doing a disservice by not sharing it with the world, right? So it's like that shift in perspective from like how, like, please help me, to I am here to help the world and serve, essentially. Like I know what I have to share is of value. Big picture. My question is, do we want to workshop these parts? Like how do we want to break it up? No, I guess workshop is just whatever comes up. Yeah.
Because like we have like a script like for a waterfall type thing. I think with the sponsor, but like really I find the problem isn't the script.
No.
The problem is more like the inner
confidence.
work.
Yeah.
The confidence. Yeah.
Yeah. Like the script they're all resources for your understanding. Like that's the information process. So if we're going by the information, what was it? Information something integration?
Information implementation integration.
Right.
Yeah. We have a whole training on like how to sell a waterfall. That's really great.
Yeah.
You know, and anyone can watch that on their own time. There's the actual written document where when you make your phone call, like you can literally straight up read off of it. So that's why I don't really find that as the main issue. It's more like the psychology of like, oh, I actually have to pitch something to someone, you know? And it's nerve-wracking no matter what you're doing. Like me and Ellen are going through this right now as we're like launching coaching programs and realizing like, oh, we actually have to like sell our offers. Like
I know.
this is a skill. You know, if any business that you decide to start, like you're gonna have to learn how to sell stuff.
I know.
And just stops identifying the word sell with a negative connotation. Like I had this come up even with my coach and I was like, I don't know what it is, but like a part of me like feels bad for charging people money for this, even though I know it's so valuable.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I don't know where that's coming from, some deep-rooted guilt around sales, but it's a thing. It's a thing that we all have to deal with.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So then what would be the implementation step?
The implementation is like to do the damn thing, you know?
I know.
Yeah.
But I want to create like an actual
The homework is to make your calls.
You could even do like what we had mentioned before is like doing the call, like being like a three-way call while they're making that reach out to their prospects.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Yeah, I was thinking that.
Yeah. And maybe not even saying anything, but just having you there in the background so they feel more comfortable, but then like having them lead that, you know.
I offered that. Well, it's gonna depend on the person because like some people like I offered that to and they were like, I don't know, I feel like that makes it really weird and not authentic. And I get that too. Like I think I would have kind of felt that way if that's how it went for me. Yes. Yes. So call with sponsor, circle back to evaluation of beliefs, practice like role play. I can even add here like either with or without sponsor.
Yeah.
Whatever. And I think, you know, what will also be really helpful in this step particularly is like having that group call. So everyone can kind of realize like, oh, I'm not the only one who's dealing with this like block or who's coming up against this right now.
Right.
It's very natural. Yeah.
I agree.
Okay, and then circle back to evaluation of beliefs, role play, phone call. And then it could also just be like addressing personal blocks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then we have the workshop.
Yeah.
Work. Okay.
Oh, something we should probably add in is like starting every, I mean, we could also do this in our chat, but like celebrating needs to be a big part of this.
Absolutely.
Maybe starting every like module with celebration and recognition. Should I just like add this up here?
Yeah.
Note.
There was even something I wanted to add before the very first module, which I think is important to go through. Maybe we have like the same week as like the, what is it, the celebration party or like the welcome party.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, this is what I wanted to create. I was telling Sophia about it today, like kind of like a partner like intake form, in the sense of like, this is where you get to get valuable information about your new team member that is important for you to know as their mentor and coach. So
We actually,
personal information.
I don't know who did it, but like there's someone who made one on our drive. I think it was Savannah. And she created like this document that has a bunch of questions. So any one of us could like paste that into Google Forms and like create our own little intake form.
Yeah. Which is something I want to actually do. Like knowing things like, you know, their birthday, their love language, how they like to receive, like, you know, even just celebration. Like, how do you like to celebrate yourself? Something I personally want to know about my team members is their astrology, because I just find it interesting. What's their human design? Like, how do they operate in their day to day? So like the little things, like how do you like to receive gifts? That kind of thing. So you can really start to develop a more intimate relationship with your team members and cultivate like that actual loving, like trusting relationship with each person that you work with, because it is personal. That's where the deepest transformation comes from. It happens when you love someone. Like truly. So yeah, I think that's an important thing to have. I want to have like a team member business partner intake form that they get to fill out from like right after they sign up. And then we get into the nitty gritty.
Right. I like that. So homework is going to be fill out your intake form.
Yeah.
Homework here.
You know, it could even be like, what are you looking forward to most in this experience? Or what's the transformation that you're really calling forward? And what's the thing that you're struggling with most right now? Like, what's the biggest limitation? Like, that's such powerful things, powerful information to know.
Yeah. Moya, I just want to touch base with you and ask you how all of this is feeling for you.
It's really good.
Full honesty and transparency, please.
I feel like I'm not fully invested in the moment just because I'm irritated and not trying to project that. So my mind is elsewhere. But yeah, I'm here. I'm just trying to calm down, I guess. So I'm just kind of taking in everything.
Okay.
I don't have post or anything. It's like everything you guys are writing and like coming through is connecting with me. I agree. I'm not in the right mindset to really throw ideas out there.
No, that's cool. I wasn't asking because like I am expecting you to like throw ideas out there, and if you're having a tough day, that's okay.
I get it.
I was more just asking because like I want to know that as someone who maybe hasn't had the easiest time with sponsoring people, that seeing this program kind of come together is like making you feel more confident bringing someone into the team. Okay.
Amazing. Yeah. And I also, I want to create some perspective, because I think what's so fun about once we have this in place is that we get to together, like as a group, kind of do a launch. Like we get to share what it is that we're calling people into, and like we know with clarity, like this is what we're going to walk through. Like this is the journey we're going to have together. Like this is the transformation that you're going to go through. This is how you're going to walk away at the end of it. And it's like we know that, and we get to share that with people with that kind of confidence and that belief in what it is that we're offering. So I think that's really exciting, because that's not something we've really experienced in the past.
Yeah, I think it's also one thing to be like, all right, guys, this is how you sponsor a new team member, go do it. Versus like, okay, by this date, we want to have like 2 new prospects signed up and ready to start this program. And then we're all going to walk them through it together. And then we're going to show them how to do it for the next round. And then we're all going to walk it together again. You know, it's kind of like, it's not just like, hey, go out there and sponsor a bunch of people. It's like, there's a lot more structure and rhythm and support around it.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah. Look at us.
So we have like 12 minutes left in our call. We can keep going, or we could use this time to like connect, workshop, whatever we want, really. How are we feeling? How are you guys feeling?
Sorry. I feel like for me, since I've been back from Italy, I haven't like been making sales or doing anything. So I feel like I need to like reset myself / like, I don't know, but I could definitely use like some as to how I can get back into it.
So maybe what we can discuss too is when we really want to kind of like launch this program by.
Sam, sorry, I just want to be clear. Are you asking for support right now about like how to kind of get yourself out of
okay. I thought, sorry. No, I fully misinterpreted that. I fully thought she was like, I just need to get recentered. And I'm like, okay.
All right.
No. I get
okay,
that.
no, then let's cycle back to that.
I was like, wait.
But
that's honestly such a great place to be. My guess, Sam, is that going away on that trip showed you a lot of the things that you want to create in your life, and showed you where your current life is maybe out of alignment. And since coming back, it's kind of been tough because you feel like it's just more obvious now. Does that resonate?
Yeah. A reminder that like I do corporate life, and that, you know, only having days that I literally completely used for just this one trip was like so annoying, and like like I definitely feel like I'm like tied to my desk now, and so I'm like, I need to definitely move my forward so that I can be less dependent on a full job.
Yeah, for sure.
But yeah, so I think like September 1st, we don't have any like incentives happening based on like Nika products this month, are we? Do we?
Until September 30th. Until September 30th, there's still the summer, like the active summer pack, which is the insoles, the sport bottle, and the Siaga for like, I think like a 20% discounted price for all those products together. That has been active for the entire summer until September 30th. They might announce what they've been doing recently is the last week of the month. They've been dropping like a huge discount. Like the waterfall was 25% off. Like that's huge. So I feel like Niken's really starting to innovate and come out with more offers and specials and doing it in kind of, I love how they've been doing it, where it's kind of like oh, by the way, just for this month, we have this or this week, we have this available, because it's a little bit more mystery and a little bit more excitement.
Mm-hmm.
So they might. I just don't think they do as of yet. But
Yeah.
they did also release the new pillow, which is exciting.
That's why I feel like they might do something with the pillow. We'll see. Maybe something with sleep. But yeah, it might be like at the end of the month, but
yeah.
But going back to kind of how you've been feeling, I think like the first thing is not to look at that and feel like something's wrong, because I actually think something is right. Like you're really taking a good long look at your life and being like, okay, there's some things here that I want to change.
Mm-hmm.
And instead of letting that feeling like the distance between you and where you want to be and letting it bog you down, recognizing that like you and you alone are capable of making that change, you know.
Yeah.
And maybe it won't happen overnight, and that's okay. But there's no reality in which like that isn't going to happen for you, Sam.
Yeah.
Like you are intelligent, you're driven, you are like willing to get out of your comfort zone and do hard things. Like you're confident, you are very well spoken. Like there's no reality in which you're not going to create the life that you desire to create.
Yeah.
I'm just
not
available for that for you, you know?
Yeah. And like you've also already taken steps that are leading you in the direction of that life, right? It's like what So said, like you're kind of in that fun space in between of where you are and where you're going, and it gets to be fun because you also get excited about the story that you're creating for yourself. Like you're in the process of it, you're building it right now, like you're living and experiencing it. That doesn't mean it always feels good, but you've already been taking the actions and the steps to be in a position in which that is a probable reality for you, right? Like imagine a year ago today, this, like there obviously are more opportunities than just this vehicle alone, but this community and this vehicle didn't exist in your life.
Yeah.
Right. So.
And you know what your passion is. Like, you know what your dream is. I know what your dream is. I know that you want to run a successful fashion company. And I think that you need to start thinking about it more often, because you probably don't give yourself much time right now to actually think about it and dream about it and visualize, right? And let the details come to you. But I think you should ask yourself, okay, what would like light my soul on fire to create? And then what do I need in order to make that a reality? Like, and then let Nika maybe be the vehicle that helps you create it.
Okay.
Right.
I actually have been like working on something on the side, because I did like have this amazing like moment where it came to me and I was like, oh my goodness, the universe is like listening to me. And I've literally like built the business plan and I'm now talking to like people about actually how like to follow the next steps. And I literally think, and even like I'll start like, I've been journaling about like how my days would look like and like all these kinds of things. Which is like so exciting. I love it. But as you know, spiritual entrepreneurs, what are, like you said, so you just said a few, like going deeper into, you know, manifesting this or like actually creating it into reality. Like, what do you think is like a good exercise to practice to like become like, you know, get yourself into that next level of just like connection with the universe to allow those like shifts?
I think something I was starting to embrace for myself is that you can act your way into a new way of thinking easier than you can think your way into a new way of acting. And it's really just taking action before you're ready. Like, what small step can you take right now to make your dream a reality? There are things that you can do right now. I guarantee you wouldn't have the idea if you weren't able to start taking action on it right now, even if it's like the smallest little tiny baby step. Just do it. Just and you know, celebrate every single small thing that you do, even if it's just like, I mean, I don't know what your idea is, but like, let's say you talk to one person about it this week. Like, celebrate that. Be like, that's a small step towards making this reality. Like, hell yes. So proud of myself. And then every week, like, just do that one next thing. Because as you take the step, the next step appears. That's just how it works.
Totally.
You know, so that's what I would focus on, and ask yourself, who is the woman who already has that business?
Mm-hmm.
Who is the woman who is like successfully running this empire? And how can I start to be her today? Because I guarantee you the person that you're acting as in your life today is not the same person that is running that very successful business.
True. I love that. I'm really gonna take those and use it.
I mean, I love how your face just lit up.
I know, like your energy
when you
completely
were
shifted.
talking about it.
Yeah.
It's like, I almost, not that I forgot, but like, I literally just came in the door after this weekend and I'm like, okay, now I have more things to do for this. Like, I'm ready to get back into.
And you know what? I think celebration is a really huge part of that, because I think every time you're able to stop and be like, okay, I just had this crazy idea and this is a step in the right direction. You're like affirming to yourself, and you're also affirming to the universe that you are ready to receive this upgrade. Like,
Totally.
I'm ready to receive it. Honestly, I don't know why my whole family has been coming back to this analogy for the last couple of days, but my brother told us about a story the other day that Soph's mom had sent to us. And it's this idea that, like, when you see a penny on the ground, if you're denying the penny, there's an individual that will pick up every penny that he sees, because he sees in the moments that he denies the penny, he's essentially saying to the universe, like, I'm not available for the penny, and therefore I'm not available for more than the penny. I'm not available for the next level. I'm not available to receive it because I'm not accepting the blessing that exists for me today, right here, right now.
Yeah.
Right? It's like continuing to send out that signal and perpetuate even and affirm to yourself that, like, you are ready to receive and create space for this birthing that's happening through you, for this new experience that's being created through you in your life. I think celebration has become really powerful in that way for me as well.
Yeah, that's such a good point. I really like that analogy.
Yeah. And something I also wanted to mention this too, because this is something my mentor does, and she shared with us she did like an entire program called Manifest Magic. And she created like micro experiences in her day. I know Sophia did this too when she was first getting downloads about the Mind Palace, but it's like, when you're doing the things, let's say, that you don't typically want to do, or you don't typically like to do, you can decide that this is like the most expansive, productive, creative part of your day. Like, you could decide that as you're sitting there doing it, like, you're telling yourself in your mind, like, I am currently running like my most ideal, expansive, like, fashion business, like fashion line. Like, I am plugging in numbers. I don't know, like something that you would be doing in your day to day if you were that person and showing up as that. Like, you could be telling yourself, the script in your mind right now is that you are that person.
And yeah, this is like, what's the story? What's the story that's going on?
Right? It's like, I'm literally, and like an example that my mentor gave us is when she was traveling, for instance, like, she has this vision of the home that she wants to be living in, and it's like so beautiful and so luxurious. And like, when she was traveling and staying in this one place at a time, it was very reflective of the home that she wanted. And she was literally telling herself the entire time, like, this is my home. Like, I am lying in my bed right now. Like, this is my experience. Like, it's not like a moment in time or something that, like, you know, I'm just kind of like rotating in and out of. It's like, no, this is my life. Like, I know this is my life. And you're calling forward that version of you in the process of doing it.
Yeah.
So I'm so happy for you.
Thank you.
That's awesome.
We got to keep, I'm almost saying this to you, like, also so that I'm like, hold myself accountable as well.
Yeah,
totally.
Absolutely.
I'm really trying to like dig deep into that feeling of like, I need to do it now, or else, like, especially what we talked about in that spiritual CEO class, like literally like doing it when it comes to you, because I'm like that person where I'll like be so into it and then it'll like pass. And then I'm just like, okay, anymore. So I'm really, but this is like something that I feel really differently about. So I have like, really
good for you. I'm so happy to hear that.
Thanks, guys. But yeah, I definitely want to be like sponsoring or selling or doing something with Nikan right now, because I definitely like need the money as well. Like, I just feel like I need to get back into the rhythm of talking to people about the business, because also something that I haven't been focusing my attention on that needs to happen. So
Yeah.
Well, you're
Yeah.
great with that. You're really great with setting personal goals for yourself and achieving them. So I would just start there. It's like, what's my goal for the week?
that's a good
Mhm.
point. Good idea.
Yeah.
Something small and very achievable.
Yeah.
Mhm.
You know? Yeah.
Totally.
Give yourself those quick wins first.
Thank you.
Okay. How are we all doing? How are y'all feeling?
Ashley, how was your first call? How do you like it?
Yeah.
Ah.
It's good. I really liked it. It was interesting to hear everyone share, and even just like with the implementation that you guys are considering, I feel like it's a good idea overall. It kind of gives more structure. I know for myself, like starting this, just having even that like kind of breakdown, it already eases some of the nerves as opposed to just coming into everything like blindfolded and like being thrown off the deep end, so to speak.
Yeah.
No. Yeah, I fully feel you in that. We are like fully walking through that process, every one of us together. And I think what's I'm so excited about this program in and of itself is because like we are literally going to be doing it as a group. Like, I think there's so much power in that. And like, we get to build off of like, even what you just said, Sam, like sharing your goals with us. We will hold you accountable to your wildest dreams. Yeah, no doubt. Like, I have no issues. I'm fully available for that. And so I think we're coming into a time where we're really getting to do it together. And I think that's so exciting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Love it.
Awesome. You'll get more context and understanding as you start to walk through it yourself, Ashley, as well. But just know we are not throwing you in the deep end. We are here to walk with you hand in hand for sure. So
Yeah.
Alrighty.
Okay, guys. Well, enjoy your evenings,
Yes.
and we'll
Everyone-
talk. Are we
Thursday.
doing a call on Thursday? Yeah.
Yeah. Well, Thursdays, I think we're going to keep having the mentoring calls with my dad because I really do think we do need that masculine energy infused into us every now and then. And just having like the mentorship from the person who has what we want is really important.
Agreed.
You know, because it's true. Last call I felt with him was really great. Sam, I know you weren't there and I haven't uploaded the recording yet, but it was really, really, really great. And it was just like a really compassionate reminder that yes, our community and our gatherings and our healing and all of this is so great, but we are also running a business.
Right.
And what brought us together in the first place is our desire to be free from the 9-to-5 life and to have our independence. And that's not going to happen if we don't actually generate results in our business. So it's like we gotta bring balance to our masculine and feminine energies here. And I think he really helps us do that sometimes. So
yeah, 100%.
Oh my God, I just realized I'm not going to be here on Thursday because I leave again to go to New York like Thursday morning. So
damn,
won't be
girl, you be traveling all over the place.
I mean, I'm like, yeah, I'm here for that too. So
I'm going to hibernate after this next weekend. So I'll be back to my regular schedule. But yeah,
I'll make sure to get those calls uploaded.
Yeah,
that would be great. Thank you so much.
Okay.
Solid.
All right.
Sounds good, guys.
Good
Bye,
night, everyone.
guys. Enjoy the rest of your evening.
Bye.
Bye.